Hey everybody, and welcome to another deep dive. We're tackling a really huge topic today, AI and education.
Yeah, it's one of those things that seems like it's changing every single day.
And luckily, to help us kind of get a grasp on this whole thing, we have Salman Khan's new book, Brave New Words.
And he's not just the Khan Academy guy. He really digs deep into how AI is going to revolutionize how we learn and teach.
Well, that's a big claim. Revolutionize.
Well, he starts the book with something that really caught my attention. He talks about using AI to co-write a story with his daughter.
Whoa, hold on. He used AI to write a story with his daughter. How does that even work?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. He used GPT-4 to do it. It's this crazy advanced AI. It can hold conversations, remember details, and even write, like, say, a famous politician or a children's book author, whatever you want.
Okay, that's pretty cool, I have to admit. But I'm guessing there's a bigger picture here than just writing a story with your kid, right?
Oh, absolutely. Khan sees this as like a sneak peek into the future, where AI tutors are just as common as textbooks are now.
AI tutors, huh? So, like, instead of cracking open a textbook, you just chat with a bot.
Kind of. It's more like having a personal tutor right there in your pocket, available whenever you need them.
I can see where this is going, but wouldn't that be super expensive? I mean, personal tutors aren't exactly known for being cheap.
That's true, but Khan brings up this really interesting point. He talks about the 2 sigma problem. Basically, research shows that one-on-one tutoring is incredibly effective. Like, it leads to way better results than traditional classroom learning.
Okay, so basically tutoring works really well, but it's just not practical for everyone because of the cost and just finding the time.
Exactly, but with AI, it could become much more accessible.
So we're talking personalized lessons, feedback tailored to each student, all powered by AI.
Yeah. Imagine a world where every student has access to that kind of support. It could be a game changer.
I'm starting to see how this could be revolutionary. But what about teachers? Where do they fit into all of this?
Yeah, that's a big question, and one a lot of people have. Khan actually addresses that head-on in the book. He's very clear that AI is not meant to replace teachers at all.
So it's not about robots taking over the classroom.
No, not at all. It's more like giving teachers a super-powered assistant.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
So AI can take care of the more tedious tasks, like grading or lesson planning, and let teachers focus on the human element.
Exactly. Things like mentoring, inspiring, those things that AI just can't replicate.
Okay, so now I'm really intrigued. So we've got AI tutors, AI assistants for teachers, but where does critical thinking fit into all of this?
Oh, that's a huge part of Khan's vision. He believes AI can help us teach and learn critical thinking in ways we haven't even imagined yet.
Now, critical thinking, that's one of those terms that gets thrown around a lot. But what does it actually mean in this context?
Yeah, it's more than just memorizing facts. It's about being able to analyze information, weigh different perspectives, and ultimately form your own conclusions.
I see. Because in real life, problems aren't just multiple choice questions with one right answer, right?
Exactly. And Khan uses a really cool example to illustrate this. He talks about using movie characters to teach critical thinking.
Movie characters. Now, this I got to hear.
Okay, so imagine you're comparing how Iron Man and Captain America approach a problem.
Okay, yeah, totally different styles.
Right, one's all impulsive, relying on tech. The other one's more strategic, big on teamwork,
So by looking at how these characters think, how they make decisions, we can learn about critical thinking ourselves.
Exactly. And the book even talks about how AI could be used to create simulations where you can actually interact with these characters and see how different choices play out.
Whoa. So it's like stepping right into the movie and learning by doing. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing stuff. But let's bring it back down to earth for a sec. How is AI actually being used in education right now?
Okay, yeah, good point. We've been talking about all these future possibilities, but what about the here and now?
Well, one area where AI is already making a big impact is in writing. Remember all the buzz about ChatGPT when it first came out? Everyone was worried about students using it to cheat.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. It seemed like everyone was freaking out.
Well, Khan has a different perspective. He says instead of banning it, why not rethink how we teach writing in the age of AI?
So use it as a tool instead of seeing it as the enemy.
Exactly. Imagine AI helping students brainstorm ideas, organize their essays, even polish their grammar and style.
So it's like having a personal writing coach available 24/7. That would be amazing, especially for students who struggle with writing.
Absolutely. And even strong writers can benefit from AI feedback. It's all about using AI to enhance the learning process, not to replace it.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have, and we're just getting started.
Yeah, there's so much more to explore when it comes to AI and education. But for now.
We'll have to leave it there.
And we'll pick up this conversation in our next deep dive.
Definitely. There's so much more to uncover.
Until then, keep those minds sharp and keep exploring.
Absolutely. See you next time.
You know, it's not just writing where AI is making waves.
Oh, really? Where else is it popping up?
Well, history, for one. Imagine, like, instead of just memorizing names and dates, you could, like, actually step back in time and experience history firsthand.
Okay, now you're talking. My time machine is ready when you are.
Maybe not actual time travel, but Khan talks about how AI can simulate historical figures, like super accurately. It's like you're having a conversation with George Washington or Harriet Tubman, like right there in the room with you.
Wait, so I could ask Abe Lincoln about the Gettysburg Address, like, directly? That's wild. But how does that even work? Like, is there some secret time travel code hidden in the AI?
No time travel code, haha. It's
Yeah.
all about data and algorithms, you know? These AI systems, they're trained on tons and tons of historical texts, like letters, speeches, books, all of it. So they learn how people talked, how they thought, even their personalities.
So it's not just spitting out facts, it's capturing the essence of these historical figures. That's pretty cool. Yeah, and the more data they're fed, the more realistic these simulations become.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But wouldn't there be a risk of, like, bias creeping in?
Yeah.
I mean, history is full of different perspectives and interpretations, right?
That's a great point. And Khan actually addresses that. He talks about the importance of transparency, making sure these AI simulations aren't seen as the ultimate authority on history.
So instead of just taking what the AI says as gospel truth, we should be questioning it, digging deeper, forming our own conclusions.
Exactly. And that's where the teacher comes in, the human element. They can guide students through these simulations, help them analyze different perspectives.
So it's about using AI as a tool to enhance learning, not as a replacement for the teacher.
Right. And think about the possibilities. Teachers could use these simulations to create all sorts of interactive learning experiences. Like, students could role-play historical events or have debates between different historical figures. It'd be amazing.
Wow, that sounds way more engaging than just reading a textbook. It's like history class meets virtual reality.
Exactly. And it's not just history. AI is also changing how we teach and learn civics.
Civics? You mean like how our government works and all that? Honestly, that was never my favorite subject in school.
I hear you. But what if you could actually have a conversation with, say, the Founding Fathers, or even the Constitution itself?
Wait, a conversation with the Constitution? That sounds kind of abstract.
Well, Khan talks about how AI can actually take on the persona of different historical documents. Like, it can embody the ideas and principles behind them.
So instead of just reading the dry legal language, I could have a dialogue with the Constitution.
Yeah.
That's a cool way to think about it.
Right. It helps make those complex concepts more relatable, And it's not just about the past. AI can help students understand the present and prepare for the future.
Oh, how so?
Well, there's this AI called Conmigo, and it can simulate scenarios related to current events, like elections or debates.
So students can actually practice being informed and engaged citizens. That's fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. And they can do it in a safe environment, without all the pressure and polarization that comes with real-world politics.
So we've talked about history, civics. What about science? Is AI shaking things up there too?
Definitely. It's not about replacing real experiments, but about expanding the possibilities. AI can create virtual labs and simulations where students can explore scientific concepts safely.
So they could conduct experiments that would be too dangerous or expensive to do in a real lab.
Yeah.
I could see how that would be useful.
Exactly. And they can experiment without the risk of making a mess or getting hurt. But of course, real-world experiments are still crucial.
Yeah, you can't learn everything from a simulation.
Right. But AI can help students understand the theory behind the experiments, which makes them more prepared and confident when they do get into a real lab.
It's like strengthening their foundation in both theory and practice.
Exactly. And AI can even help them analyze data, visualize complex concepts, even design their own experiments.
Wow, that's really impressive. So we've got history, civics, science. What other subjects are getting the AI treatment?
Oh, math is another big one. Conmigo, the AI we talked about earlier, it's really good at math. Can personalize instruction, give targeted feedback, even help students fill in those learning gaps.
So it's not just about drilling multiplication tables. It's about really understanding the concepts.
Exactly. AI can even make math more fun and engaging by connecting it to things students are interested in, like sports or music, or even video games.
Now, that's a math class I could get behind.
Right. It's all about making learning relevant. So we've seen how AI can personalize learning, make it more engaging, effective across so many subjects.
It's pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah.
But I keep coming back to this question of the teacher's role. With all this AI, do we even need teachers anymore?
That's the big question, right? And it's one Kahn addresses directly in the book.
So what's the verdict?
He's very clear that AI is not here to replace teachers.
Okay, so teachers can breathe a sigh of relief.
He sees it as a way to empower teachers, to free them up from all the tedious tasks so they can focus on what they do best, mentoring, inspiring, guiding students.
So it's not about AI versus teachers. It's about AI working with teachers.
Exactly. It's a partnership. I like that perspective.
It's about using AI to create a better education system for everyone.
Okay, so we've seen the potential, the cool stuff AI can do in education.
Yeah, some really exciting possibilities.
But I think we got to talk about the concerns, the things people worry about when it comes to AI.
Right, the potential downsides. It's important to address those.
So first up, the ethics of it all. AI in education raises questions about data privacy, potential bias, even misuse. How do we make sure we're using this technology responsibly?
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
Kahn actually spends a lot of time on that in the book. He really stresses transparency, making sure students and parents understand what data is being collected and how it's used.
So basically being upfront about it, no hidden agendas. It's all about building trust, right? Exactly. Trust is key. And it's not just about protecting data, it's also about recognizing the potential for bias.
Bias. How does that come into play?
Well, we've talked about how AI models are trained on massive data sets, right? If that data reflects existing societal biases, then the AI might end up perpetuating those biases.
So like if an AI tutor is mainly trained on data about male scientists, it might unintentionally steer girls away from STEM fields.
That's the kind of thing we need to be super careful about. We need to make sure the data used to train these systems is diverse and representative of all students.
Okay, so data privacy, bias. Those are big ones. What about misuse? Like, could AI be used to manipulate students or control what they learn?
Those are valid concerns. And Kahn talks about the need for clear ethical guidelines, and open discussions about the potential risks as well as the benefits.
So it's not about just blindly embracing AI. We need to be thoughtful and critical.
Absolutely. We need to teach students to think critically about AI, too. Understand its limitations, its potential biases, be able to question the information it gives them.
So it's not just about using AI. It's about understanding it, right? Being informed users, not just passive consumers.
Exactly. And that actually leads into Kahn's concept of educated bravery.
Educated bravery, what's that all about?
It's basically this idea that we need a new kind of courage in this rapidly changing world, a courage that comes from knowledge and understanding.
So not just being fearless, but being informed and equipped to make good decisions even when things are uncertain.
Exactly. When it comes to AI, educated bravery means being excited about the potential, but also aware of the limitations and risks.
So finding that balance between optimism and caution.
Right. We should be willing to try new things, experiment, but always with a critical eye.
And having those tough conversations, addressing the ethical challenges, making sure AI benefits everyone, not just a select few.
Absolutely. Kahn sees this educated bravery as essential for the future, not just in education, but in society as a whole.
Now we got to talk about the big one, the thing everyone's worried about, jobs. A lot of people fear that AI will automate jobs, lead to mass unemployment. What does Kahn say about that?
Well, he's realistic. He knows that AI is going to change the job market, no doubt about it. But he doesn't think it's all doom and gloom.
So no robot apocalypse.
Not exactly. He emphasizes the importance of adapting, embracing lifelong learning.
Yeah.
We need to be prepared for the jobs of the future, even the ones that don't exist yet.
So it's not about fearing the future. It's about being ready for it.
Exactly. And that means developing the skills that AI can't replicate, things like creativity, critical thinking, emotional intelligence.
Like the human stuff, the things that make us unique.
Right. And Kahn believes education has a huge role to play in this, preparing future generations for this new world of work.
So it's not just about teaching technical skills. It's about fostering those uniquely human qualities that will be in high demand.
Exactly. And it's about instilling a love of learning, so people are ready to adapt to whatever changes come their way.
That's a powerful message. So as we wrap up this deep dive into AI and education, what are the key takeaways for our listeners?
Well, I think the main takeaway is that AI has incredible potential to transform education, make it more personalized, engaging, effective. But it's up to us to make sure it's used responsibly, ethically, for the benefit of all students.
And we need to approach this new frontier with that sense of educated bravery. Be informed, thoughtful, and courageous in shaping the future of learning and work.
Absolutely. The future is unfolding right in front of us, full of challenges and opportunities. If we embrace this educated bravery, we can navigate this new landscape and create a future where AI helps us all learn, grow, and thrive.
That's a great point to end on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into AI and education. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those minds sharp.
Absolutely. See you next time.